Okay, let's begin. Hello, everyone. In today's video, we are going to, this is going to be a three-part video where in the first part, we are going to design a calculator, okay, so, using Figma. And then in the second part, we are going to convert that into an HTML and CSS web app. And finally, in the third part, we are going to use JavaScript to make it work. Okay. So this is the three-part video. So let's begin with the first part. So I have created a new page in Figma. To begin with, I will add a frame first. Okay. So I will add a desktop frame, and you can see this is my frame um, of size desktop. Now here to begin with, I would like to start uh, by thinking about what should be the color of my calculator. Okay, so I am thinking of designing a calculator with the soft UI style buttons. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. Okay, so I'm going to keep it light color, like absolutely white color. And let's try to design a button, and then we will replicate it for the other things. Okay, so let's begin. First, we will take a rectangle tool, and let's create a rectangle. Okay, so sorry, I will try to make a square. Okay, and once I do that, I can now this square looks a bit big in size. So I will reduce it to, let's say, 50 by 50 pixels. Okay. So this size I think is fine. Okay. If you want, you can design it for a bigger size also. Okay, so now once this size is ready, I would like to add a text inside this. Okay, so now before I add a text, I should change. Now because this design is going to be a neumorphic design, so I would the basic concept of a neumorphic design is the element and the background should have the same color, and that lift is created with the help of shadows. Okay, so let's first create set the color to be absolutely white. Okay, and once we do that, let's add some effects and add a drop shadow. Okay, so you can see the button right now with the drop shadow, but this is not the shadow that I want. So I will go with 4 y4 and let's say a blur of 6 pixels. Okay, once I do that, this is what I get. And now I want to add another shadow, drop shadow, which is going to be exactly, sorry, let me come over here. This is going to be exactly opposite to the previous one. That means I'm going to do -4 and -4 and blur of, let's say, 6. And here the color should be, a little less dark. Okay, so this is what I've selected, and this is how it looks. Okay, now we may have to tweak it a little bit. So let's come to the color and change it a little. Okay, so 42% is the color, sorry, transparency for that one. And okay, and now I would like to also add a border radius to this. So let's add it around 5 pixels. Okay, so let's try 10 pixels. Okay, so 10 pixel looks better. So let me zoom in. Okay, so now you can see, it is a bit too, dark transition. So I think I need to adjust the shadows a little bit more. Okay, so 17% is fine. And similarly for the dark shadow. Okay, so I think this is better. So you can see this is the button that we are going to use, right? Inside, let's add a text element to this. Okay, so um, let's add a character. Let's do one. Okay, and obviously we will have to increase the font. Let's start by 28. Okay, so I think this will work. And let's now change the color a little bit. I don't want completely dark black color, so a little less dark. And this is my final component that I'm going to use. All right, now this is the component that I want to be repeated for all my buttons, right? So let's make this a component. Right now they are just separate, so let's select both of them by pressing shift. Okay, and selecting both the elements, that is the text and the box, and then right click and create component. Okay, so once we do that, now we can duplicate this and create child components. Okay, so you can see in the layers panel, this four dots means it is a master component. Okay, so now let's hold down alt, and you can see the cursor changes. Now you can click and drag. So let's put not 25 pixel spacing between them, and let's duplicate it. And so I'm thinking that I will be needing around four such rows in one particular uh, row. Okay, so I'm going to select now all of these things, and now I'm going to drag it down. So 25 pixels roughly. Okay, then now I can start duplicating it. So let me select everything, and I think I will be needing one more row. Let's make it. Okay, so this is my final layout. Okay, now let's change the numbers. So this will be let's think a little. So first of all, I will delete this, and I will extend this. And okay, so first, because the structure of this is going to be slightly different, so I will detach this instance from the actual component, and then I will try to reposition it. Okay, so this is going to be another form of button for us, because it is going to have a different size. Because usually, you will have uh, equal to sign as a different button type. Okay, so let me think a little. Do I want okay, so let this be a plus symbol. Okay, and let this be 0, and let's take this to be decimal point. Okay, and let's take this to be equal to sign. Okay, 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I have this now, my keyboard layout. Now we can start adding the operators. So there is a negative operator, then we have let's say multiplication operator. Okay, and we also have division operator, then we also have percentage. Okay, and finally we can also have what else can we have? So we will try to create another type for Okay, now this is going to be a problem. Okay, so let's do one thing, because if I scale this, then all the elements are going to scale. Okay, so it's better I will reshuffle it. I will bring this over here, and okay, and I will try to first of all, let me detach this, because this is going to be a different type of a button. So let's do this, and then I will change this to ace, or let's say clear. Okay, so this button is going to be clear, right? And now let's deal with centering all the elements. Okay, so now I have to center. So once I select all these things, you can do sorry, uh, and select. Okay, so you can come over here, select both these things from the layers panel, and you can align it like this by clicking the horizontal align and the center align. Okay, so once this is done, you can see my text is aligned over here. Similarly, all the other things are aligned. Okay, next, let's look at the alignment a little bit more. I think the numbers are aligned properly, but the operations are not aligning properly. Okay, so let's align that also. These operations are a different kind of a button. So let us detach these things from here. Okay, so detach the instance, and let's go inside and try to align it. So I will select both these things, and I will try to align it. So now it is aligned. So similarly, we will select these things and try to align it. Let's detach everything, and okay. So I think this one is also needs a little bit of alignment. So sorry, I selected the entire component. Okay, so I think this is enough. So you can see I have a nice little what do you say, display keypad. Okay, so now I can select all of these things, and now I can group them together, and let's call it let's say keypad. Okay, so now I have the keypad ready. Now I also need a display. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's duplicate this. Okay, and let's change it to a bigger size, and let me think. So we will have this we can use this directly, or if you want to have a multi-line display, so you can have a multi-line display also, but I'm going to go a little simple on this. So, and I'm going to keep it like this. Okay, so this is going to be my design. Okay, so here this is my structure. Now inside this I am going to I don't want something like this. Instead of this, I am going to add another rectangle. Let us zoom in, and let us add another rectangle inside. Okay, let's leave a little bit of spacing everywhere. Okay, so this is going to be my what do you say, display. Okay, so you can see this is my display, a light color background. Okay, and here I'm going to put my text, which is going to be the number. Okay, so this calculator is actually going to be a very simple calculator, not something which is very complex. So let's put some values here. Okay, so this is how it's going to be, and let's select the text and align it a little. Okay, and the size of the font is a little big, so let me reduce it to 26. Okay, and I can align it to the center, And I think it should have a little bit of padding from the left and from the right. Okay, so let's add that. Okay, so that is how it's going to be. The color is a little bit, too dark for me, so I will reduce the color, and I think this is fine. So this now my calculator is ready, which has around all the buttons and a display for displaying the digits, or basically the result. Okay, so now I have uh, the keypad. Okay, so now the keypad itself is having that particular display. So because I duplicated it, so the entire thing is inside the keypad, what do you say, container or group. Okay, so let's now call it as calculator. Okay, so that's fine. So this is the calculator. Now let's zoom out, and now I want to align this to the center. So for that I can just do vertical align and horizontal align, and we are ready. Okay, so this is my final calculator, which looks something like this. Okay, so in the next video we will see how we can convert this particular design into a reality. Okay, so we will see you in the next video. Thank you.